Okay, let's go. So this question was posted on Reddit, and I've been in talks with the person who made it. They want to know how to animate this. This is the picture they uploaded. They want to animate the canopy of this. We found out it took a little bit of information, added information to understand what they wanted. Most people are saying bend modifier, and that's what I'm saying, especially for their skill level. But I, my main response was like, it's a little vague. I want more information. We can clearly get to your answer and your problem. And then they showed this, and it's like, cool. Yes, this is very helpful for getting to the answer faster for everybody. So using this information is good. And then I made a little sample file of how to use the bend thing, but they kind of want to see it in conjunction with their actual file. They sent it over. So this is good. This is what I like to do. I want to build not foster a community, but just like open my arms to share my knowledge and brain to people who might need help that are helpable. Sometimes it's not doable to do everything for everybody last minute. This is like Christmas holidays. This is their end of semester project, I believe. Who cares? I'm going to help them out. So this is pretty much what it looks like. I get it into my wonderful 3D Studio Max 2024 because I don't use the new stuff because I don't like to mess with the plugins and reinstalling all my scripts and crap. And resolution's lower so people can see it. It's easier to see. And I pretty much here have just like what they're looking for. This is just the group being opened. Let me close it. All right. And I'm just going to go through the whole process of how I did this and then talk about a couple of the things. There are some caveats. This is not perfect. This is not a simulation. This is not going to be like a end all be all to your problem. But it will get you there most of the way, and then we'll talk about the drawbacks and maybe how to work around them or whatever. So the first thing I'm going to do is you send a 2026 file. I think that's fine. I don't really care, but we're just going to start from scratch. So I'm going to go to frame 0 where this is straight, and then I'm going to just this is the other fun thing that happens with this. At least this is like whatever uniform sided so we can get solid angles. I'm just going to duplicate this and hide it over there, and I'm not going to worry about it. Oakley dokley, getting back to this. So this is just a bend modifier. You can see that it's slanted. If I zoom in here, you'll see double cursor, but it's slanted because it's an instance on all the different components of this that make up this layer. So like it's on this strut, it's on the next strut, it's on the next strut, it's on the canopy cloth. Maybe I'll turn off this and just go to straight right. No, it looks terrible. That's why I use clay mode just so I can see. So this is just one bend modifier for each of these arms and is going to be locked to that. But if we delete it, now let's see what happens. You can see that it's still on the other pieces of it, and that's just something to be aware of, and that's this setup and not every setup. You don't have to do it my way. Do it your way. Do what's working for you, but I want it to make sense and not like let there be any whatever mystery about it. So I'm just dragging a box to get everything. And I'm going to press undo once because I deleted the bend modifier off. I don't want to do that. Oh, never mind. I'm going to have to clear them out anyway. And I think there's like an automated way to do that, but it doesn't matter. You can just come here, delete. Go in here, delete. These are all the same bend modifier. You can see it's slanted. Like I said, that means it's an instance. And yeah, someone's going to tell you that this is the wrong way or that they have a better way or whatever. But now this is not moving. It's back to how it was. Over to the side, we have the duplicate of it that we're going to recreate. Okay, great. So I'm going to get this Alt Q. I'm going to hide everything, and I'm just going to, holy crap, recenter this. Okay, so the easiest way to do is, I'm not a fan of groups. I don't know if your teacher taught you that or if your program assembly sent them out like that or what exactly, but I don't really like to mess with groups. I don't. This rotation is starting to make me anxious because it's not level. Did I do that? Or was it like that to begin with? Who knows and who cares? hide this. Come over here. Maybe we'll do this other one because it's straight. Yeah, we'll do this one because it's straight. It'll be easier to understand. Okay, I turned it into boxes to do the low poly version and see through it. This'll be better. sorry. Okay, again, this is the exact same thing though, where each component is its own thing. Their groups, I don't recommend having groups unless you're gonna like keep it modifiable and editable, but I don't really care about that right now, personally. So you can draw a box. This is what I was trying to show before. When all the objects you have selected have the same modifier, just like one modifier affecting all of them, you can select them all and delete it this way. And now there's nothing there. But to be safe, let's just copy it over again. Okay, so this is the angled down one. Okay, I'm gonna delete this. Here we go. So anchor point is coming from 0, 0 on everything. No, well, some of the stuff, who cares? It doesn't matter too much, but you're gonna draw a box around it. You're gonna come up here. You're gonna go in here, modifier. You're gonna do bend. Very simple. Oh, yeah, so this has an angle too. That's fine. The other one's probably fine. I'll do it as well. Inside of your bend, it's not just the bend. You can open it, and then you have a gizmo and you have a center. The only thing I really mess with is the center, and it's denoted by this like point shape, whatever. If I turn a wire backface, the little yellow plus, but it's a 3-dimensional point, and all you want to do, like in a viewport that makes sense, is to move it to the tippy top. On this one, you could almost use the align tool, but I'm going to do it by eye. Something like that. And then I'm going to leave it, but we're going to move it up and down, and you'll see the difference that does. All right, so now you have the bend, and you can start modifying this. You can see that this is the wrong angle, but if you use this bend axis, you can quickly get to where it's going to be pivoting correctly. And we see that Y is good, it's just going the wrong direction. So this is the one that I think you had go up, and it goes up negative 90 degrees. And now you've got this little thing that can bend up or bend down. Just pretty good, pretty good. That's kind of what you wanted, There's still problems. You can see this is where I was saying if your struts have lower polygons, you won't get a curve here. It will be a hard edge. So this will require probably remodeling, honestly, is what you should do. But I'll just keep talking about this so it makes sense. On here, let's go to this view again. All right, let me get all this stuff. Let me do my Alt Q so you don't see anything else. And right now I want to talk about the gizmo. So you can see how when you change the pivot point, it's like drastically changing how long this shape is. So it's kind of like you just want to be careful because this is not a simulation. This is not a rig. This is just like a solution to your problem. For me, it seems like it should go in the middle, but I think probably at the bottom is where it's going to deform the least. And I'm going to go to the bottom of, or like the middle of the strut. So now when it's at 0, it should look how it did. I mean, it will look how it did before because it's not affecting it. It's just like 0, on, off. There's no change. But maybe it'll feel less like it's distorting the length of the awning as much because its center line is the awning itself for the most part. Hopefully that makes sense. This is a small detail that people won't really care about or notice, but a teacher might. Teachers have better eyes, and that's something you want to watch out for is the teacher eye because they're the one grading you. Okay, so for this, hopefully you know keyframing. I don't really know. N auto key mode. Click this button, get this timeline thing turning red. Your frame view thing, like it'll start at 0 and go forward. Let's say it's 30 seconds. We'll go to what is it? I think it's 90 and 120 or something like that. Negative 120 up, like real big high, and then you have like a little automatic animation already. If you want more time over here, Control Alt hold those and then right click with your mouse and you can drag in more time. You can also left click and move the beginning of your timeline, which can be nice, but really it's hard to render negative frames, so keep beginning of animations around 0. Probably don't start animating until like, frame 100 or something, but that's one quick way you can do that. So you can have it go up and you can have it go, oh, maybe like it'll end there back where it was, but maybe at 60 you want it to go the other direction where it's, what was it, 90, 120, goes both ways, woo woo woo, something like that. And now you have a simple little animation type thing, that's very fast. That's not how it would be like in real life, but you're just showing the concept, I think. Oh, that's what I'm gauging. It doesn't matter. Okay, so now one of the things I wrote in my email is that when it bends, or in my Reddit message, the bend modifier just wants to make things perfectly smooth. Like, it doesn't matter what you put in there. We can go and put in let's do this. From this view, I will draw out a cylinder. Okay, good. Let me go to this view, the top view. I'm the old man, and I like having all of my stupid pivots or all my screens on. This is just for demonstration purposes only. I'm gonna have it go over just slightly. Okay, and now let's do the same thing. This is okay, this is one thing that might be, who knows? My pivot is showing here, even though we know that it's here, the real pivot, and it's just because of the selection center, I believe. And now, well, yeah, oh, there we go. I had this turned around, but yes, now it's actually where it is, and it's not the center of the object. So that's why that was showing incorrectly. But bend. This is a new bend, it's not the same bend. And you can see this is working by default, but this is closer to the what you want. Like, you can see that since the cylinder doesn't have very many height segments, it's lower resolution, and then you're getting more of a like a hard edge on the bend, which is kind of what you want for all these struts, the canopy, if that makes sense. So one way you can do that is take this one. This is called Canopy. I can type original. I'm gonna just duplicate it, copy it. This is gonna be low poly version. And now you can see what that did. Since it's a copy, because we're gonna be changing it, it's also not copying the bend. It's not slanted anymore. So I wanna delete that bend off, go to the original one where it is slanted, it's an instance, copy it, canopy low poly, right click, based instance, and hey, there's probably a better way to do that, but now it has the same animation here. And it's exactly where we started. We haven't changed anything yet, but we will with using something like what is it, Pro Optimizer, I think. Yeah, okay. Calculate, good. And let's just let's reduce those vertices. And the way that this is built, it should solve some of these problems, but we want to get rid of all the verts that are on the edges of this canopy so it looks like it's pulled tight. And there's probably a better way to do this. You could probably, like, I don't know. I see this as like you have to rework your models and stuff, or like cut more edges just where you want the bends to happen, so it emulates more so this cylinder, if that makes sense. If not, it will, I think. All right, so now we bend it up, and now that looks like total garbage, but go here, maybe. Let's see here. By edge angle, here we go. So you can start to get more of a, like, creases in it, but this causes problems because then your little bars might be showing through. But it is procedural. There's a lot of pros and cons, pluses, minuses. things that you're going to have to just like weigh for if you want to take the time to remodel this or to redo it, to decide if this straight edge on this back piece, now I will move this, let me just reduce what we're looking at, if this straight model is closer to depicting the shape than this fully rounded model. Maybe it doesn't matter, probably doesn't matter, but this principle applies and kind of like propagates down to how the struts need to look, because they would not, I don't think, work like this. I don't even know if they would work. I think you would need double the football shapes on each side, and then they would like hinge or something like that, and then they would be angled so they could bend up, like more structural. But maybe this is just an idea and a concept. Okay, so that's that one. That one is moving, rigging. It's not rigged, like set. Okay, let's do it for this one over here. And this one, conveniently, you do have it like whatever. Let's since it's around the origin point, this is much easier. Sometimes it's not as easy as this is going to be, but let me reset my views. Views 4. Clicky here. Good. Clay mode back on. Good. Okay, so this one, when you have multiple things selected by default, it usually goes to the selection center or whatever. That's what mine does. Doesn't matter. I'm going to come up here. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's try. No. It depends. Changing this to the pivot center, and then we're going to have all these pieces selected. Put on the, nope, not body objects, modifier. Bend. Here we go. And now you can see that the bend is coming from the pivot point of that tarp, canopy, whatever, because that's where that pivot point was. I don't know the exact order or reasoning for any of this crap. Might not work the same on your end. For me, that's just how it worked out. But clicking on one of them, it's slanted, so it's instanced between all of them. And then you should just have to move the gizmo. Come on. To the side here. And then, unfortunately, you will have to rotate it. And this is why I mean how yours is easy, because even with the angle snap, yours is pretty much where it needs to be. And then I'm going to put this about on this top strut where the canopy is. Oop. And now bend in the Y angle and the -90 or +90, whatever. And now we have this one going. And it's going at the wonkier angle. I don't want to say it's bad. It's not a bad angle, but the harder to read angle. So now you've got this one. You can go through the same process of reducing that. I don't really know if you want to. If it doesn't matter, and all you want to do is have some of these bend down and bend up. Okay, the next part might be where this whole thing, like maybe, you know, maybe all of those you want to duplicate probably, so you don't have to animate each of them. And this, sadly, I think maybe a group on here might be the best. This is the down canopies. And I don't know for sure the best way to move a group's pivot point. Is it something like this these days? I don't really know, but you just want it to be, son of a bitch. So when you duplicate this to match all of these, that it lines up pretty good. Instance, dumb, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Good. And now when you click on any of these, they're all the same. So they should all have this same thing. And this gets hard to see for sure when all this shit's overlapping with itself. But they're kind of all doing what you want, like sunny day, close it up, or it's raining or something. I'm not sure exactly what the reasoning is going to be, or like all this. Who knows? But I think that's a lot of what your questions were and how I would work on them. The biggest issue right now is the struts. It's the struts for me. Um, I don't know how to optimize that anymore, honestly. Let me try a Pro Optimizer again, and let me try to put it under the bend, put the bend over it. No, it's not going to let us reorder it. You will have to go into each thing. Come in here. Pro Optimizer. Calculate. Let's get the vertices down. Is it doing anything? Oh no, it's not doing what I'm expecting it to do. I don't know why. Oh, it's because I think this is a group of a group already. And this is where grouping gets bad. Grouping gets bad. So let me delete this Pro Optimizer again. Let me open your group. This is your group where these are different objects now. And get all of these selected. Pro Optimizer on this. Let's see if this works for us. Yeah, and this is where, unfortunately, I don't know the right combination. I'm doing this live. I'm not playing with this other than just recording this and trying to help you. I'm not going to have the best solution to say, oh, you should do this. For me, it would be modeling these struts straight so they don't have as much detail. Obviously, Pro Optimizer is not going to work. So let's go on one of these. Let's put an edit poly there. All right, I'm going to hide this. I'm going to turn off the bend. We're going to find this in the viewport. And like, I don't even freaking know, man. This is too tedious to have to go and do this for everything, but you just don't need as many of these sections is really what it is. So let's do ring and then loop that. Press the backspace button and you can see that since some of this fucking geometry is not clean, it looks like garbage. And this, I think, is being converted from something else, another program where it's dirtier. So it's not worth, like, it's unfeasible to go here and delete. I'm pressing backspace, not delete, to backspace out all of these topology changes. And I don't really know a way to quickly do it. But now at least when it bends, holy crap. That's not even true. Oh, okay. I know what's going on. It still has all the vertices there. It doesn't have the edges drawn because I deleted them, but backspace. Bend. There. Now that one piece is kind of straight. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't really know for sure. It might be too small of a detail for you to be concerned about at this point in time, but you can see here where since it doesn't have the topology in this area, it will always be a straight line. And if it doesn't have this weird topology here, if it's just a cylinder with no height segments, pretty much is what I'm saying, between those 2 points, it will stay straight no matter what the bend angle of this arm is. Hopefully that makes sense, sir, ma'am, person. I don't know who I'm talking to. But I'm gonna stop this here. I think that made sense. Let's see how long this took me to explain. 25 minutes probably. Yep, 25 minutes. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I hope you get a good grade on this. Hit me up for more